Lynette Porter, custodial authority being Derek Lee Sewell Reese.
The state is asking for temporary orders at this time. It's the state's understanding that parents have a few agreements on this case other than they are the parents of the child subject to the suit, and neither is asking for DNA testing.
Guys, this one starts heavy. A mother standing before the court, refusing to pay child support and demanding her child back. Boom! Emotions everywhere. CPS already involved. Allegations floating. Depression. Anxiety, financial struggle. She says she's the sole provider.
Additionally, Your Honor, testimony will show that the child is currently with Mr. Reese Sewell, and that has been the case since December of 2022. Documentary evidence will show that CPS did get involved in this action, and Mr. Reese Sewell was a person who they allowed to pick up the child when the child was not in Ms. Porter's care. However, CPS didn't do anything else after allowing Mr. Reese Sewell to pick up the child. And at this point, Your Honor, it appears that Ms. Porter is not in agreement to pay support to Mr. Reese Sewell and would actually like the child returned to her. Based on that, Your Honor, the state's understanding is the court would likely appoint an ad litem for the child in this case to get to the heart of the matter if we were going to finalize all of this.
All right, let's get some testimony on these circumstances dealing with the child being with dad. I'm sorry. I did note on did notice on the service citation there was an FBI indicator on there, so I don't need mom to testify to her address, but I do need her to testify to her whereabouts and whether or not she's even in the state of Texas at this time. And I'll get some general information as far as her last contact cell, that kind of stuff, through the general testimony at this time. So, folks, I've had a lot of cases lately where CPS has got initially involved and then didn't do anything else where they normally, in the good old days, used to. So now, more than likely, we'll have to appoint the child a lawyer, let that lawyer do the investigation and see and make recommendations going forward. But for right now, I want the state to give me some questions verifying that the father has had the child. It sounds like more than a little bit more than a year. The child is in Texas, and get some information on where mom is, because again, those are all factors on what I can do here today, one way or the other. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and ask both of you to raise your right hands, please. The whole truth is nothing but the truth, so help you.
I do.
Yes. All right, you're both officially under oath, and I'm going to go ahead and allow the state to call you both as witnesses, and we'll take it from there. Ms. Bongak, call your first witness, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Mr. Reese Sewell. Sir, what is your full name?
Derek Lee Sewell is what I go by. Reese is my father's name, and it's just added on there for the child support purposes as well.
And what is your legal last name, sir?
Sewell, Sewell.
And who is the child in this case?
Shanier Lynette Porter Sewell.
How are you related to the child?
I'm her dad.
Who is her father? Mother.
Miss Antoinette Porter.
And sir, at this time, who does she live with, your daughter?
She lives with me.
How long has it been since you got her in your possession?
I got her, it was December of 2022, I believe. And she's been with me nonstop ever since.
And sir, at that point, how did your daughter come to live with you?
I got a call from a CPS worker saying my daughter was with an unauthorized person for at least 2 to 3 months. And I argued with them because I was visiting with my daughter just prior to that, maybe a week. And I told him that I dropped her back off with her mom, but I guess she was taking her back to this lady. Well, I got in touch with CPS and they told me that basically nothing bad had happened to my daughter, but the lady needed help and they couldn't. Well, I guess they contacted Antoinette and she cussed them out, and I agree.
So stop. Okay. You can't testify to anything someone else told you about Miss Porter, only what you actually saw, sir. So
all right.
Okay. Well,
all right. No problem.
Okay. The state could proceed with the next question. Thank you.
Can I finish what I was saying?
No, sir.
One second, Mr.
Okay. No problem.
Sir, what city and state does your daughter live in right now?
We stay in Temple, Texas.
Is that the same place that you picked her up from?
No.
Where did you pick her up from?
The CPS worker gave me an address that was located in Coppers Cove, Texas. I drove down there. Nobody was there at first. The lady contacted me who had my daughter, and she told me she would meet me there. She pulled up in a car. She had multiple kids with her. She had 4 or 5 different kids
Hey,
with her.
sir, hey, I know you got a lot you want to tell me, Mr. Sewell.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, but one question at a time. Right now is the state's trying to verify that this child came in your possession in the state of Texas, and my understanding is.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And Coppers Cove, Texas. Is that correct?
Coppers Cove, Texas. Yes,
In
sir.
December 2022.
That's where I picked her up from. I don't even remember this lady's name because I was so upset. But
you're getting ahead of the question. The state now has the next question to ask. Thank you. You may proceed.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Sewell, you said that you'd had visitation with your daughter a few weeks prior to CPS contacting you. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
In what city and state did that visitation occur?
Temple, Texas.
And how involved, if at all, was Ms. Porter with that visitation you exercised prior to CPS calling you?
She was involved. She dropped her off. Either I dropped her off and she picked her up, or vice versa. And that's how the visitation would go when Miss Porter had Chenier. Either I would drop her off, or we would exchange her, and then I would give her back after maybe 2 to 3 days.
Okay, Mr. Sewell, backing up to when your daughter was born, at that time, were you and Miss Porter living in the same household?
Yes.
And at what point, sir, did the two of you stop living together?
I can't remember the exact point, but I can't remember the exact date, but
He says CPS called him claiming the child was with an unauthorized person for months. He drives to Coppers Cove, Texas, picks her up, and she's been with him ever since. Non-stop. Over a year. The judge keeps him focused. One question at a time. The father confirms the child lives in Temple, Texas. No CPS court dates followed.
I would have to say it was I know it was before 2022 for sure, because I got you there in 2022. It was at least a year or two prior to that.
And sir, at the point that you and she stopped living together, which of you had Chenier?
She did. She had Chenier.
Okay.
When we first stopped living together.
Got it, sir. Since your daughter has been with you since December of 2022, thanks to CPS, has Ms. Porter gotten any visitation?
No. Honestly, CPS told me.
Okay, sir. Again, the answer is yes or no.
No.
Okay.
No.
Good enough. And the state will flesh it out if necessary. You may proceed, Ms. Bongat.
And sir, was that a result of communications between you and Ms. Porter, or was that dictated by somebody else like CPS?
Thank you, Miss Lady. That was dictated by CPS. They told me that if I would allow her to go back to her, they wanted to interview her first, just like I allowed them to do to me. Come in my home, take pictures, and all that. And they told me that if I wanted to give Chenier back to Miss Porter, contact them. They would do the interview. If she passed, they didn't have a problem with that. But I'll let her tell you what she did, because I don't want him to say I'm saying too much or going outside of the
Yeah, you have,
go ahead.
I'll let you go on that one, sir. No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. As a result of CPS's involvement, Mr. Sewell, you were sent a letter by that agency. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And that letter is something that you then turned over to the Attorney General's office?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Sewell, do you have any objection to the court reviewing that document?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Your Honor, at this time, state offers on behalf of Mr. Sewell a letter that was provided to the Attorney General's office. This was also sent to Ms. Porter via email today.
All right, Ms. Porter, this has been marked as CP respondents number 1. Is there a legal reason I should not be able to review this letter at this time, ma'am?
No.
All right, CP respondent files number 1 is admitted. You may proceed, Ms. Bongat.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Mr. Sewell, you had an opportunity to see what was sent to your email, correct, sir?
You want me to look at my email right now? I'm sorry.
Not a problem if it's not available, sir, but on that document that the judge just put up to the camera, the state had
Okay.
included a sticker, CP Exhibit 1, meaning you, custodial parent Exhibit 1. And then below that, there appears to be a stamp from the Attorney General's office. And then underneath your name, where the address would be, that's actually been lined out just because this is a case where non-disclosure has been pled for.
Yes, ma'am.
Aside from those three changes, sir, would you agree that that was 4 pages you sent to the Attorney General's office?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I do.
Okay. And sir, was that the last communication you had with CPS regarding your daughter?
Contacted them a couple times after that because she was threatening to come over here and get her, and I know I didn't have a complete order, so I didn't know how to handle it, and they told me they would support me in any way if she ever came by, that they call them and they would do whatever they could to make sure things didn't get out of hand. Let's just put it like that.
And Mr. Sewell, with this case with CPS, you all never had any court dates or meetings between you, your daughter, and Miss Porter?
No, ma'am. Reason being, they said there was no physical harm to her. They just wanted to make sure she was in the right with the parent, and that's why they contacted me. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. At this time, sir, how does your daughter have health coverage?
I tried to put her on my health coverage through my job. Um, I don't have her social, and I've contacted her mom about that, and it never got sent to me. So she hasn't been sick, so I haven't got her to the hospital. I was hoping to put her on my insurance, but I will need her social security information. It's just everybody is giving me the cold shoulder when it comes to that.
And sir, how old is your daughter right now?
She's 4 years old. She turned 4 in September, this past September.
Does she attend any type of daycare or other schooling?
No, I pay for a babysitter out of pocket. She starts school. Well, her birthday is just a little too late for her to start this year, so she'll be starting regular school next year.
And sir, with regard to support from Miss Porter, is that something you and she have ever discussed?
I used to discuss it in the earlier months. In the earlier months, she did send a $100 payment, but besides that, I got to the point to where I just stopped asking because she's not going to send anything, and that's cool. And when that's just the point I'm at.
Sir, do you have any other children besides Shanier?
Yes, one of my sons is in college. I have 3 other kids I pay child support for. I'm pretty sure Mr. Nelson, he knows about that case.
Okay. And sir, other than what CPS had told you about restricting Miss Porter's access, do you have any other concerns about her time with your daughter?
Um, I do have concerns about because I believe her to be in another state, and I just don't want to have to. I had to go get my son from another state, and I just don't want to have to go through that kind of stuff again. I do feel like she needs to be involved in Shanir's life. She does. She does need to see her, visit with her, and that'll be up to her though. She did threaten to give her rights away, which is why I don't even understand why she's trying to contest this right now, and that worries me because sometimes I wonder if she really on Shanir's side, and I mean I am, and I hope she is, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. And sir, with regard to your physical address, is that something you've already shared with Miss Porter?
Yes, ma'am. She's been to my apartment, I believe, before in the past.
And so, sir, do you have any concerns about your physical address appearing in the court's order?
No, ma'am, no problem. That you can do that.
The child isn't covered yet. Missing Social Security information. Daycare? He pays out of pocket. She's 4 years old. Support discussions. He says she sent $100 once, and then nothing. Boom. That lands. He already supports other children. Pays child support elsewhere. But here he says he stopped asking. He claims mom threatened to give up rights at one point.
And going forward, sir, do you have any problem updating Ms. Porter if any of your information, including phone number or email address, changes?
No, ma'am, I'm not. I don't have any concerns.
And so with your concern about the being out of state, sir, it was more a problem about taking your child and not getting her returned to you, correct?
Well, I knew I couldn't give her back to her until I talked to y'all because I needed to get a final order. So that was my first piece of business. And my second piece of business, she would call from time to time and say that, you think I can get Shanair back? And I would have to tell her, no, she had the same opportunity that I had, and I guess she chose to go the other way. So with that being said, if she does want to see her, there needs to be something in place to where she just can't try to take off with her, and I need to make sure that Shanair is straight. That's all I'm trying to do.
Okay. And sir, earlier you'd said if she didn't pay support, that was cool. Are you actually asking for back child support in this case?
I'm asking for the back child support
Sorry,
for
Your
the year that I've had her.
Sir, stop. Ms. Bond,
Okay.
you can save that for final. We're not going to deal with it. We're only going to deal with, this is a temporary order. We'll deal with all the back issues when we have a final hearing, because obviously I'm giving the child a lawyer based on the CPS involvement. I just need to for you to go ahead and finish getting the testimony from both parties. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Or temporary order. Thank you.
Understood. At this time, Your Honor, I pass Mr. Sewell.
All right, Mr. Sewell, be back to you in a minute. Call your next witness, please.
The state calls Ms. Porter. Ma'am, what is your full name?
My name is Antoinette Shadrick Porter, hyphen Jefferson. I got married last year.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. And does your current identification card indicate Porter hyphen Jefferson?
No, it's just Porter right now.
Okay. And ma'am, is it correct that you are Shanair's biological mother?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you able to hear my opening statement to the court?
Yes, ma'am.
And would you agree that there were those few agreed issues, everything else is in contest?
Yes.
And were you able to hear Mr. Sewell's testimony, ma'am?
Yes.
Was there anything about how he got possession of your daughter that you disagree with?
Yes.
Okay. So what specifically, ma'am, was it that you say was inaccurate about CPS's involvement and him getting her?
When CPS got involved, I was currently homeless, living in my truck. The lady who had her is my godmother, and I was living in my truck outside of her home, but my daughter was living inside of the home. The day CPS was called, I was not able to get there. I was at work, so I gave them his number.
And ma'am, since he obtained possession of her, have you and he ever spoken about your visitation or getting her back?
I've asked him on multiple occasions to get her back. He told me no. I've asked to get her to see her. He's told me no. I haven't seen her in over 13 months, personally, physically.
Yes, ma'am. Did CPS ever, or sorry, did you or CPS ever reach out to each other about the interview or changing the situation?
So because of the CPS worker that we had was under investigation.
Okay, ma'am, that's not the question. That's not the question. I know everybody wants to tell me stuff that's not in their side of the story. Unfortunately, the state asked you a separate question.
Yes, that's because it wasn't the CPS worker, it was their supervisor. That's what I was getting to.
Yeah. All right.
So there was contact between you and a supervisor, not the caseworker?
Yes, ma'am. The supervisor had reached out to me and told me not to further contact Derek Sewell because it was getting very out of hand.
When was that communication made between you and the supervisor?
Back in maybe November of 2022 or December. It was the same week of the incident that CPS was called.
Okay. And ma'am, my understanding is you were not in agreement to paying support for your daughter at this time. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Are you currently employed?
I was at orientation today. They rescheduled me because I've been in court all day. I'm not currently employed right now, but I am the sole provider for my household.
And ma'am, how many people are in your...
I'm sorry, you went out.
Yes, ma'am. How many people are in your household right now?
We go ahead, count. Sorry, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And how many of those 5 people are children?
3.
And are all three under the age of 18?
Yes.
And let's see, what was I going to ask you? What city and state are you living in right now?
I live and I currently reside in Shreveport. I work in Texas. I
Okay.
work in Texas.
Was there anything else, Ms. Porter, you wanted the court to consider at this time, keeping in mind that these are going to be temporary orders?
I haven't seen her in 13 months. I've talked to her all of probably 3 or 4 times, and each time she's asked me to come get her. This has been emotional for me. I deal with depression and anxiety now. I am the sole provider for my household. I just want to get this over with, and I just want my kid back. I'm not trying to make it hard for anybody. I just went through a hard time, and I reached out to him, and I asked for help, and I couldn't get it. So I did what I thought was best. That's all.
Ms. Porter, does your daughter with Mr. Sewell know her half siblings?
Yes, she knows all of them.
What are their ages, please?
11, 10, and 8.
She admits, yes, she's the biological mother, but she disputes how CPS got involved. She says she was living in her truck outside her godmother's house. The child was inside. CPS got called while she was at work. She says she gave Dad's number. Then she drops a bomb. She hasn't physically seen her child in over 13 months.
Do you have any family or in Texas or plans to visit Mr. Sewell's area anytime soon?
Yes, my grandmother's in Texas. I'm supposed to be moving back to Texas this year, and I'm going to be moving with her, so I can be closer to Shannon.
What city or county is she in, ma'am?
My grandmother, Tarrant.
And that would be a move for your entire 5-person household?
Yes, ma'am.
When you said this year, do you know what part of 2024 you were looking at?
It's supposed to be the end of this month. If not the end of this month, it's going to be the end of February for sure.
And ma'am, what type of work will you be doing with the orientation that was rescheduled today?
I will be working. Oh, I'm sorry. I will be working at a warehouse. I will be a forklift driver.
Okay, got it. And ma'am, well, I'll save all of that for a final hearing, but was there anything else, ma'am, you wanted the court to consider at this time?
No, no.
And sorry, ma'am, I just thought of, do you have any concerns about your physical address appearing in the court's order?
I don't.
And are you comfortable updating Mr. Sewell with your information if any of it changes?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Your Honor, I pass this witness.
All right, ma'am, what was your understanding of the incident that took place that got CPS involved in your, in all this, please? What's your understanding?
Me?
Yes, ma'am.
So from my understanding, my godmother had 2 other children there, and one of the boys went to school and said something, and CPS got involved with the household. That was from my understanding.
All right, and how many of you, you said this child was living there and you were staying in the your vehicle. How many of you, where were your children, ma'am?
I'm sorry?
Where were your other children, the older children, where were they?
They were with my mother.
In Tarrant County?
Yes, ma'am.
So the
Yes,
only
sir.
child in Bell County was the child that's before the court this time.
Yes, sir. She
Okay.
was my youngest.
All right, and after you left Bell County, ma'am, where did you move to? Which state and which city?
I moved to Shreveport.
Have you always lived in Shreveport since leaving Bell County?
I went to Alaska for a while too, for work,
How long were you in Alaska?
for about 4 months.
And then after that, back to Shreveport?
Back to Texas,
And where in Texas?
Tarrant County, Fort Worth.
Okay. And how long, and that's back with your mother or grandmother, I'm sorry.
Yes.
All right, and how long did you stay there?
I've been here since I've been back from Alaska in September.
And that's, you've been in Shreveport since September, right?
No, I've been here in Fort Worth. I reside in Shreveport. I take the gigs because it's easier to pick up a gig or a job here. And I just send the money back home to my husband to pay bills or take care of the needs for the children or household.
Where's your husband right now? Where's he living?
He's in Shreveport.
And you right now, are you in Tarrant County or are you in Shreveport?
I'm in Tarrant County.
Okay, all right, it's understood where you were located, ma'am. And when are you going back to Shreveport?
I have to go move my family at the end of this month or the end of next month. We're just waiting on my grandmother's landlord to finish up her house.
All right, Ms. Bongat, any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
Oh, this is a closing statement, closing argument. Obviously, I'm looking at appointing the lawyer. I got a CPS thing here, so obviously I gotta get the child ad litem. I'm not sure what I want to do for visitation until I can, until I get a recommendation from the ad litem. So I'm looking at probably doing a quick turnaround with ad litem, give me a recommendation on what type of visitation, and see whether or not the ad litem wants to call the CPS worker in to testify at the next hearing. Anyway, any other witnesses the state have at this time?
No other witnesses, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, have you been doing any type of FaceTime visits with the child or anything like that in the last year?
Yes.
When do y'all normally do those and how often?
They're not very often. The last time I talked to her was before Christmas.
Okay.
It might have been like right around Thanksgiving, if I'm correct.
All right, then. Thank you. All right. Any other witnesses, Ms. Bongat?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Reese Sewell, anything else, sir, you think I need to know before I give the child a lawyer?
Please do your due diligence when you do that investigation.
I'm not doing the investigation, sir, but the lawyer's doing
I'm saying, please just remind them that all they got to do is talk to the CPS worker, and everything will be revealed to you. Because you ain't asked me nothing, you ain't really asked her much. It seems like y'all just take people's word. Call the CPS worker, and everything will be revealed to you, and we can go ahead and close this case. It'll be easy, smooth.
Well, we'll see about that, sir. Again,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I sure hope so. But if y'all talk to them CPS people, this would be so easy. Because all that what she just said was false, and I have to go ahead and say that. It's hard for me not to say it. I'm talking about all that was false. She was not staying in front of that lady's house when I picked my daughter up.
Sir.
I know it's crazy. I don't want to hear the facts. I'm just trying to say some facts, and I can't even get them out. But it's okay. I'm gonna be quiet.
Stop.
Go ahead.
Stop.
Go ahead.
Okay, here's the deal, sir. This is a court of law, and I know you're not a lawyer, but you're not doing it right. Okay, you're not doing this right. And I've got to go. Everything in here has to be done in accordance with the Texas Rules of Civil Procedure and the law. And I give you a little leeway, but for right now, I'm going to go ahead and appoint the child a lawyer. I'm going to go ahead and have the lawyer complete the investigation. And if they feel it's in your child's best interest to call the CPS person to come in and testify, they will do so.
The judge announces it. He's appointing an attorney ad litem, a lawyer for the child. Not for mom, not for dad, for the child. Boom. Investigation incoming. CPS may testify next hearing. And here's the hard ruling. No in-person visitation for now. Only FaceTime, weekly, Sundays and Wednesdays, and...
So again, we're going to do it. We're doing it according to Hoyle. We're doing it by the law, sir. And
I agree.
So again, that's what we're going to do. And in the interim, I'm going to set up a temporary order. I'm not going to order any live visitation until the ad litem has done an initial investigation and makes an initial recommendations of what the visitation needs to be doing going forward. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead. And so I'm just asking you, is there anything else that you think is pertinent to for me to pass on to the ad litem at this time, sir?
You say you want to...
The ad litem's going to contact both of y'all and get y'all side of the story. And then she's going to contact CPS.
Okay.
And she's going to make recommendations, sir. So
yeah, no, I would love to talk to him.
All right. Anything else from you, Ms. Porter?
So you just said I'm still not gonna be able to see my kid.
after 13. I'm not gonna.
You wasn't worried about that when
Ma'am,
she was off the
Mr. Stewart, stop. I'm talking to her, not you. Ma'am, here's the deal. Ma'am, here's the deal. Okay, you're gonna go ahead and have your little fit, ma'am, and I'm gonna let you finish, and then I'm gonna rule what I'm gonna do. Yes, ma'am, I'm not gonna let you see this child until until the investigation is finished on what CPS is alleged in this letter that I left in exhibit number 1. You were on an investigation by CPS, and they have had reason to find, and I'm gonna read you directly from what they say as far, and this is for Antoinette Porter, abandonment of the child, reason to believe. Antoinette Porter, physical neglect, reason to believe. Ma'am, those are serious allegations, those are serious matters, and until I get some clarification of that and some further information on that from CPS and an investigation, no ma'am, I'm going to give you FaceTime visits with the child weekly. The father's going to comply with those FaceTime visits, and but until I come back in here next month and have the Atlanta do at least an initial investigation, I'm not going to order any live visits with the child until that is complete. And I'm considering that in your child's best interest. And if you want to act hysterical and go off the deep end on you, ma'am, that's really not going to help. I want people before me who are focused and not over emotional, because I didn't make these circumstances up, ma'am. These circumstances revolve around you and Mr. Reese Sewell, and I've heard both of y'all's story, and I'm going to get the lawyer for the child to dig into these stories and see who's telling me the truth and who's not. So those are the circumstances, ma'am. You're the one that's been investigated by CPS, and they said they got a reason to believe, and that's that. So until I get that removed, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to name, and Ms. Bonga, I'm just going to stop it right here. I'm going to name the parties both temporary joint management servitors. I'm giving dad the right to decide domicile. I'm not giving them mom any rights of the joint conservatorship until further order of the court, except the right, and I'm going to withhold the right to order child support even until the next hearing on this matter, because again, she doesn't appear to be working, and she does have the other kids. But I am looking at setting up temporary child support, setting this all up on a further temporary order next month. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and appoint, let's go with Mr. Brimhall on this one. I'm going to appoint Isaac Brimhall as the ad litem for the child in this matter. I'm going to go ahead and order that both parties going forward use AppClose. It's a free parenting app you can download to your phone. It's available both on Google Play and iTunes, and it even has a FaceTime function. And I'm going to order that going forward that the mom have FaceTime visits with the child every Sunday, starting this Sunday at 6 p.m. and starting every Wednesday at 7 p.m. And that doesn't start this Wednesday because that's tomorrow. But I'm going to start this Sunday, and then going forward, both Sunday at 6 and Wednesdays at 7. Mom is to have FaceTime and do that FaceTime through AppClose. I'm going to go ahead and appoint Mr. Isaac Brimhall as the attorney ad litem for the child. Mr. Brimhall represents your daughter, not you, sir, not you, ma'am, and he will make recommendations going forward of what he thinks is in the best interest of your child as far as access, visitation, and who he feels should be the custodial party going forward. And I'm going to go ahead and reset this matter for a temporary order for him to do an initial investigation and make his recommendations on what mom should have as far as visitation going forward, starting next month. So, but I want to give him at least 30 days to investigate and get a hold of CPS and even call CPS as a witness for the next temporary hearing we have. All right, folks, here's the deal. The lawyer for your child is already going to be in this court on February the 15th. I'm resetting this matter for February the 15th for him to make recommendations to the court on what he has found as far as his investigation is concerned, and what he's recommendations for visitation going forward. And obviously I'll make a ruling on temporary child support going forward. This type of case is not going to be one that's done in 30 days. I'm looking at you letting him do the initial circumstance or initial finding, and whether or not he wants to bring CPS in at that hearing to testify, and at that point make recommendations on what he feels is in his client's best interest. as far as child support and visitation going forward. But I'm going to hold all that in abatement until until the 15th, and that's going to be the order of the court based on these circumstances. I'm not going to order any child support until but I am going to be looking at child support and looking at a guideline amount. So hopefully the mom is back in Texas by February the 15th. Because I'm not going, Mr. Brimhall is not going to go. I'm not sending him into the Shreveport, Louisiana to make a home study. But if he feels it's necessary, I will send him to Tarrant County, Texas to make a home study of the other residents before he makes a recommendation for visitation with mom at that resident. So that's what I'm looking at. That's the norm. So I'll start with you, sir. Questions?
If she wants to visit with her daughter more, can she do that? Is that cool?
I'm not, again, we're not going to do visitation until we come back in February. And
no, I'm talking about on the FaceTime. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, okay. If she wants, if y'all agree to anything beyond those 2 dates that you ordered to do, sir,
she can call every day.
Okay, well, sir, that's a little, well.
I would love for her to call every day. You know,
Well, she
I
can
feel
call
like
if she wants, sir, but the bottom line is you order to have the child available on Sundays and Wednesdays, okay?
No problem. No problem. Yes, sir.
All right. Any other questions, sir?
No, that was my only question.
All right. Now, Ms. Porter, questions, ma'am.
I have no questions.
All right, Mr. Porter, Ms. Porter, Mr. Sewell, you do have the state's permission to give the attorney for your child your contact information. In other words, your phone numbers and your email addresses.
Okay, appreciate you.
Does the state have your permission given that information?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Porter, Mr. Sewell, Ms. Porter said yes. Is that okay with you?
Yes, sir. That's no problem.
All right, then the child's lawyer is going to be contacting both of you to start the investigation. If he hadn't contacted you by sometime in the next 10 days, you contact him because his information will be in there, but give him some time to get this information and a copy of everything in the court's file. All right.
No problem.
All right, guys, I'll see everybody back here on the 15th in the general docket, and I'll probably take you guys early, but hopefully by then, Mr. Brimhall will have his ducks in a row. And we'll at least go in with some temporary business and some temporary child support until everything is settled and we get confirmation of where everybody. Obviously, sir, you're in Temple, Texas, but mom's back and forth between Shreveport, and by that date, I want to confirm that she is in Texas and living in Tarrant County, or not.
No problem.
All right.
Cool deal.
All right. Anyway, we'll reset to that date, and I'm going to finish writing this one up and. Anything else from the state?
The father insists CPS will reveal everything if called. He claims more serious allegations, threats, police reports, danger around the child. The judge cuts him off. That's for investigation, not today. Court is adjourned. February 15th is the next chapter. All right, guys, this case is far from over. CPS involvement, cross-state living, emotional instability claims, allegations of abandonment, and now, a court-appointed investigator stepping in. Yet the big question moving forward, who's telling the truth? And what will the ad litem uncover?